You feel it before you understand it. The moment your emotions rise, your power drops, and the world notices. Most men think being emotional makes them honest, open, real. But in reality, uncontrolled emotion makes you predictable. And predictable men are easy targets, not because they are weak, but because they are exposed. In modern life, everything is designed to pull emotion out of you. Social media, work politics, relationships, even the news. Everywhere you look, someone is trying to provoke a reaction. And most men give it freely. You get ignored, so you react. You feel disrespected, so you explode. You feel insecure, so you explain yourself. You feel hurt, so you overshare. You think you are expressing yourself, but what you are really doing is handing over leverage. The modern man lives under constant pressure to feel something and show it, to speak, to react, to prove. At work, you're expected to stay passionate. In relationships, you're told to be open. Online, outrage is rewarded. Silence is misunderstood, so you adapt. You talk more. You react faster. You let emotions decide your next move. And slowly, without realizing it, you lose control. The real struggle is not with other people. It's with the surge inside you. The spike of anger, the rush of fear, the need to defend your ego. Most men fail here. They mistake intensity for strength. They think showing emotion means being confident. But confidence is quiet. Emotion is loud. When a man reacts emotionally, people learn how to move him. They learn what triggers him, what offends him, what scares him. That's all anyone needs to control you. An emotional man argues instead of observing, explains instead of listening, chases instead of choosing. He believes he's standing up for himself, but he's being led. Watch how conflicts play out. The man who raises his voice first loses authority. The man who explains himself too much loses respect. The man who shows anger gives the other person the upper hand, not because anger is wrong, but because uncontrolled anger is information. The world does not reward emotional exposure. It exploits it. This is where the shift happens. Quiet, internal, uncomfortable. You begin to see that control is not suppression. It's command. You don't kill emotion. You contain it. Instead of reacting, you pause. Instead of speaking, you observe. Instead of defending, you let silence work. This isn't advice. It's a realization. Every time you don't react, you keep your position. Every time you stay calm, you stay unpredictable. Every time you choose restraint, you gain ground. A disciplined man feels deeply, but he does not leak it everywhere. He understands that emotions are private data, and private data is power. There is a moment every man faces. A message that engages him, a comment that disrespects him, a situation that feels unfair. This is the test. The emotional man responds immediately. He types, he speaks, he confronts, and the situation escalates. The disciplined man does something else. He breathes. He steps back. He lets the emotion pass through without acting on it, not because he is afraid, but because he is in control. This moment is where strength shows itself. Real masculinity is not loud. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't need validation. It stands firm without noise. When you stop reacting, something changes. People speak differently around you. They hesitate. They test less, not because you became aggressive, but because you became solid. Calm men are difficult to manipulate. Silence creates uncertainty, and uncertainty creates respect. You start to see how often people try to pull you into emotional exchanges, arguments, drama, power games, and you stop playing. This is the emotional peak, not rage, not dominance, clarity. You realize that no one can provoke you without your permission, that your peace is not dependent on how others behave. That control of self is the highest form of control. You stop needing to be understood. You stop needing to win every exchange. You stop needing to explain who you are. Your actions speak. Your silence reinforces them. This is where self-respect is rebuilt. A man who controls his emotions is not cold. He is grounded. He can act when needed, speak when necessary, and walk away without regret. He doesn't fear emotions. He just doesn't let them drive. The lesson is simple, but not easy. The world targets emotional men because emotional men reveal themselves. They give access. They give reactions. They give power away. Strength comes from mastery of self, not control of others. You don't need to dominate. You don't need to intimidate. You don't need to prove anything. You need discipline. When you choose calm over reaction, you reclaim authority. When you choose silence over explanation, you protect your position. When you choose restraint over expression, you keep your edge. This is modern strength. Quiet, controlled, unshakable. And once you understand this, you stop being a target.